Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased and happy to be invited to speak at such an event, and I would like to express sincere gratitude to the UN, UNECE, UNDP for invitation and for organizing this, to the Norman Foster Foundation, and to other parties that joined together in this project and in helping Ukraine to rebuild after the war. And especially thanks for your commitment to the topic of circularity and willingness to do this in a better and greener way. And today I would like to present some of my views on the circularity in the built environment. And surely I've got a few slides to support my views. So let's go. Okay, there we go. So this is the topic I was asked to cover within today's event. And I would like to start by expressing the importance of design in circular economy. Because if anyone asks me what is circular economy about, in one word, I would say definitely it is about the design. Why? Because everything that is surrounding us has been created somewhere, sometime, from some kind of raw materials by someone. And according to European Commission, 80% of our ecological footprint of any product is decided at the design stage. So design is critically important for circularity, for sustainability, and for potential reuse or circularity of those raw materials we are putting into a product. Because once you have made something like an omelette on this picture, and you did not think about how to disassemble, how to separate the materials after the life cycle use, well, then it is really hard to go back and save some kind of value in this product. Now, if we move to the circular solutions that I would like to talk about today, I've basically grouped them into 4 groups. And the first one is decentralized and semi-autonomous renewable energy with a smart grid. Well, why? It's a no-brainer. Needless to say that lately we have experienced massive attacks on our energy system, and it really showed how sometimes dangerous it might be to rely on fully centralized generation and distribution. Decentralized and semi-autonomous renewable energy with the smart grid and smart balancing is a foundation for circular economy, but it is also a very resilient, future-proof solution for the communities. There are beautiful cases of such systems, even in Ukraine. On this picture, you can see Schip from Amsterdam, so it's not Ukraine, but it's an amazing project by a coalition of architects and designers and activists, and the company called Spectral. They are specialized in this smart grid systems, and also on the picture below you can see the battery loop. Why battery loop? Because it is very important not only to co-generate energy, not only to balance it in a smart way and kind of provide interchange between households within a neighborhood, not only to account these interchanges and make kind of joint billing system between households and businesses, but also to ensure that you have some storage for those times when energy is not generated, for example solar energy at night or wind energy when there's no wind, And for this purpose, reused car batteries serve best. So it's fully in line with circular economy, and it is a very resilient solution for the future. So if I was advising the mayors how to build their future neighborhood in Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, or other cities, I would very much emphasize on decentralized and semi-autonomous renewable energy with the smart grid systems. And yes, there are companies on the market who provide these services, and one of beautiful cases, not that much advanced, but still could be Solnечное Misto, a solar city from Slavutich, where I'm also the member of this energy cooperative. This is a beautiful initiative, and when there was no centralized supply in February and in March, this generation, these solar roofs, have provided city of Slavutich energy, and that was crucial for them. Okay. Then the second group, which is also very important and relevant right now, is circular design, when we deconstruct and demolish damaged or neighboring buildings and then process these materials, hopefully upcycle them into new building materials. So there is a huge problem in Ukraine because there is no knowledge and there is no market for the secondary materials. Mostly we were landfilling all this waste, and the question is how to enable this material separation at this first stage at the demolition site. Also, how to ensure competitiveness of the secondary materials. Perhaps we need some legislative changes for that. Perhaps we need some fiscal encouragement for the secondary materials, but we also need some training how to do it right. This is something perhaps we would be able to help with some partners. And here I also put these wonderful companies that do amazing things in this area: New Horizon and Stone Cycling from Netherlands, Neo Eco from France, and they are already present in Ukraine. They start a pilot in Hostomel. Wish them luck, and hopefully if they do it right, it can be a showcase for us here. Sortera, very advanced guys from Scandinavia, from Sweden. If there will be any need in competencies, it can be attracted, and we have this companies as potential future partners for Ukraine's rebuild as well. The third group, very important group, is system thinking and circular design when we plan the rebuild on a city level or district level or even the building level. Why? There were times when buildings were designed according to very straightforward clients' wishes, like how tall they wanted, what is their taste and understanding of beautiful. And it all depended on how capable architects were and how much money the client had. These times have gone and drastically changed. Today, at the design stage, you not only define how big the building will be, how much natural light will come in, how sustainable the materials are, how to incorporate BIM software and materials passports, or how much energy can be saved per year, which certification to choose, LEED or BREEAM. And you basically also define if the function of this building could be changed in 10, 20 or 30 years easily, without major deconstruction and generating waste. So the latter is called reverse architecture, and you really put the basement for it at this design stage. These things are hugely important, all of them that I listed above, for circularity, as they directly influence buildings' longevity, so the life cycle time and their environmental impact. And of course, below I put the examples of companies that have incorporated this into their practices. I'm happy colleagues from Arup are also here in this seminar. Foster and Partners, of course, guys from France, AZC, and many others. And the fourth group, the final one for this webinar, is circular design for consumer behavior, basically citizens' behavior and the resources and materials management. Why is it important? Because circularity in the urban environment does not end when we have new districts built and they are up and running after the war. In some sense, it's just another beginning, because people move, materials flow, things get consumed, they come into the system and they get out of the system as a waste. So it's very important to design how people will be using the buildings and the space around, starting from moving around and finishing with where will they eat their lunch and what kind of either reusable or single-use items they will encounter on their way. And here I can talk a bit about our case with the UNECE City, the innovation park in Ukraine, who have asked us to consult them on. Well, basically they said, guys, we need you to tell us where to put our garbage bins. And we were like, wait, but this is not about just garbage bins. It really depends on your setup, on your residence, where will be those crucial points they will be moving between, and what will be their lifestyle. So we have run through a series of researches, including surveys, watching people's behavior, gathering data, analyzing it. And as you can see, it includes, it's in Ukrainian, but it includes, of course, the built environment, FMCG goods, food, energy, water, mobility, and based on many analysis, we have come up with certain decisions. Maybe I can give a few examples. For instance, how do you come up with this? So this is the interior scheme of a massive floor inside their business campus, one of the business buildings. And on this entire floor, there are only 4 garbage bins. And this is the system advised by us. And these are the separate collection, types and groups that we have proposed based on research and analysis. So if you just look at this and you look on those green spots where these garbage bins are proposed to be located, you think it's no-brainer. I mean, you have just guys put it randomly there, but it's not quite so. So there is quite a lot of work and dedication behind this result, and of course there is no time to explain it in detail today. Another example from outside, on the main square, we have advised the designers of this square, of course, how to locate these containers and what composition they have to have. For example, It is quite weird, right? If you look just at first glance, it says dry mixed, organic, and cups. What? You never, I bet you never met this kind of division in Kyiv, in Ukraine, or maybe even elsewhere. So why not paper, plastic, glass, or why not, I don't know, something else? Well, again, because we have based this decision on data and on the consumer behavior and residents' behavior that we have seen on this specific site. So it was very important, first of all, to separate organic from not organic, because only in that case you can, further separate and process the dry mixed waste. Also, what is important to mention that we have analyzed the entire supply chain till the end, so we perfectly know what happens to this waste till the final point. And why cups? Well, because there are just so many cups, and over 50% in volume of the entire waste at UNECE were cups. So it makes sense to separate them into a separate group and to work with the provider of processing solutions that transforms cups into notebooks, into new paper, etc., etc. And guess what? It worked. So this is the picture I've taken, maybe a few weeks or months after this new square was launched, and there has been a big event nearby. And I was pleasantly surprised that people are really sticking to these denominations of these sections, and it was very pleasant to see. Well, and this is it from my side for today. I am really thankful to UNECE, Foster Foundation, and other involved parties for organizing this event today. I really understand how difficult it is for the mayors and community leaders to focus on circularity at this particular time, whether you are in Mykolaiv or in Kharkiv, and you have tons of other more urgent and more important problems. I perfectly understand that, and this is probably not really the first priority, but once it becomes your priority, don't hesitate to contact us for assistance, for help. We are there, and we are ready to connect the dots and help in the Ukraine's rebuild in a green and circular way. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening.